My bookshelves are a mess, so let's reorganize. Over the past few years, I have obviously grown my book collection a lot. I have a lot of books on my physical TBR right now, new books that are sitting here and have no place to go. So it's time to reorganize, rejuvenate, and bring some life back to my bookshelves. Honestly, I think I'm just gonna start by taking all the books off all of my bookshelves and putting them on piles on the floor so I can wipe the bookshelves down and kind of organize before putting them back on the bookshelves. Some of the shelves I'm pretty sure I'm gonna keep the same. Like definitely this shelf is gonna keep the same, and I still think I'm gonna keep romance up here, more fantasy down here, but I just want to make more room and have this bookshelf especially look nice, and then have certain categories on my bookshelf on the floor, and then, you know, have my physical TBR more organized. So let's get going on that. Okay, the books are off my shelves and they're now all on my floor, and I have a lot of books. Wow. I'm gonna organize them into piles on the floor. I'll see what I come up with. Honestly, I'm not really sure. I know I want to separate the books I've read from my physical TBR, but yeah, honestly, not sure what we're gonna do. So let's get organizing. Okay, all my books are now separated into sections. I have physical TBR over here, romance section, a nonfiction, a fantasy, and then my little fiction section. I think now I just have to figure out how I want to put... Whew, this is a lot of work. I guess now I just have to figure out how I want to put them on my shelves. I have unsurprisingly come to the conclusion that I have a crap ton of books. I'm not gonna not buy more books, especially ones that I love, or series that I'm reading that are gonna expand, and new books are gonna come out from authors that I love, etc, etc. So we got a new bookshelf. Originally, I just wanted to get 2 more cubbies on this side and then for that side, but I got this one, so it's like 2. This shelf was in my freshman dorm of college, so I've had this for quite a long time, and I was worried that they wouldn't have it, and they had, this is from Target by the way, Target had just for 2 cubes, and then I could put 2 cubes over there, but they were a different brand. The thickness of these were different, the outsides were different, and the measurements were a little off, so I didn't want to do that. And then the brand that this was didn't have those just 2 cube units, but they had a 4 cube unit. So we're gonna build that and then just probably either push this way or push that way. I've had these gaps for a long time and I hate seeing the cords. It really bothers me, and now I'll have more space and hopefully be able to have gaps and stuff where I know new books will come in, or books from my physical TBR will go onto like this big shelf. Let's build this shelf, shall we? One thing about me is I'm very handy. I love building furniture. It's like Legos for adults. And I also still love Legos. I feel like I'm pretty good at hanging things. I hung all the shelves in my room. It's kind of getting warm though. This is a task. Yes, Thor, we are building new things. Look! Ta-da! Now I just need to put the top on, which should be pretty easy. I always kind of gently screw them in before tightening it so it leaves room if the measurements are off. to make sure they all are gonna get in. They have these screw covers, but I feel like they stick out more, or the screws stick out more than they do on my other one. But maybe it's just because they've been on my other one for so long, and I screwed them all tight, so I don't know. I'm gonna move this bookshelf over just a little bit. I can't move it too far, otherwise I can't open my closet doors. And then I think maybe I'll push that one that way and try and squeeze this in right there. Perfect. Okay, I kind of want to center it. Definitely more space, but I like it. So honestly, it's pretty long. I didn't realize how long it would be by adding 2 more, but I like it. I can definitely add more knickknacks and stuff on the top. Like maybe I get my other rock and do a couple of my favorite hardbacks here. I have my other Emily Henry hardbacks and I could put them here, and then I could maybe put a stack of books on that side. And then I just have a ton of space in here too to expand, and I like it. I'm very happy I made this decision. It's definitely a lot, but I had the wall space that was sitting empty. Honestly, books would just pile up there anyways, or library books, or my foam roller would sit there, and I don't want to have to see that. I'd rather look at books. So I'm very happy with this. Now I just have to figure out where all the books are going. I think I'm gonna try and put my physical TBR on the bottom. I don't think I'll need all of it. And then I think I'll keep my nonfiction shelf the same here. Maybe have a shelf for my library book. And yeah, we'll see how we go. I'm very happy. I don't think, honestly, this shelf is gonna change too much, just here and there, and then I'll have space on here too. Leave openings for authors that are on my physical TBR, and obviously I don't think I have enough books to completely fill all the cubes, but I'm so happy. Like maybe over there I put monthly TBR, what I want to read next. I'm excited. That was fun. I haven't built something in a long time. The shelf's above my TV. I hung a few months after I moved in, but honestly, like I've had a lot of the same furniture for a really long time, so change is nice, and building things with your own 2 hands is nice. I need to buy Lego flowers or something. Maybe that's something I could put there, because I've had these Trader Joe's flowers for so long, and they're really dried out now, and they're really pretty, but maybe I put Lego flowers in here. I feel like something tall kind of needs to go here because there's this big gap between my TV and the shelves. So maybe, I don't know. Oh, maybe I put the stack of books here and then put this on top of the books. Genius. Okay, let's get to putting these books on the shelf. The first shelf is done! Woohoo! Okay, over here is where I used to have my physical TBR, but I have way too many books now, so I think I'm gonna put my Harry Potter books. Let's do that! Maybe I just put that there. Nice. Hello, I am back with the tour of my library, my home library. I finished putting all the books on, as you saw in the last weekish. It's had some changes and involvement, so we're gonna go through every single book I own right now. Okay, so starting at the top here, I have my Sarah Adams When in Rome series. There's one more book I believe that's going to be coming out for that. I have my Lila Sage Rebel Blue Ranch series, which the 4th book just came out and I do have it, and I'm really excited to read it hopefully soon. I think that's the last book in this series, and I've had so much fun with that series, especially after reading Elsie Silver. If you haven't read the Lila Sage Rebel Blue Ranch, the first one's done and dusted. If you haven't read that or the rest of them, would absolutely recommend. They're so good. And then I have all my Elsie Silver. I have her first series that were just republished in the new covers. I love how her books, especially the Gold Rush Ranch series and the Rose Hill series, have the spines of the mountains. I think that's so pretty. When I was putting on the bookshelf, I was considering doing the Chestnut Springs and the Rose Hill series stacked instead of horizontal, but I didn't like it because of the mountains, and I honestly really like this. I feel like it looks very nice and clean. And then I just have my Scorpio candle because yes, I am a Scorpio. 3 of the series on this shelf have more books coming out, so I'll add those when they come out, so I have room to do that. My next shelf here is my favorite romance authors I love and I will recommend. So we have Allie Hazelwood, her romance books here. We have my favorite of all time, Emily Henry. Every single one of her books hits for me. I'm so excited to read Great Big Beautiful Life. I probably will have read it by the time this video comes out. So excited for that. Then we have Abby Jimenez. Y'all know I feel like I don't shut up about Abby Jimenez, but I love all of her books. Part of Your World, Yours Truly, I just read recently. I reread Yours Truly and love it. A new author that I found last year that I'm obsessed with and that I loved is Annabelle Monaghan. You've probably heard other people talk about her. Read her books if you haven't already. My favorite is Summer Romance, and they're super short and sweet. Love her. And then Ashley Poston and her 3 kind of newer releases. I love all of them. And then again, there's a little more room here, so I just have the Dead Romantics leaning because I know Ashley Poston's coming out with a new book, Annabelle Monaghan's coming out with a new book, so those will probably go here this year. And then I just have my Cherry Blossom little Sunny Angels there that I'm in love with. I think they're so cute. I didn't get the bunny. I really wanted the bunny or the fawn, but I really wanted the parrot and the lamb, so I'm happy I got those 2. And they're all just really cute, so I'm happy with any of them. And the experience of opening them, I think I'm gonna have a problem with them now. I want the hippers, but I don't only have the looking back one. I want like a regular hipper. They're not on their website, so unfortunate. All right, the third and middle shelf of this bookshelf is my Sarah J. Maas. This really didn't change at all because I just love how this looks. I don't know what's gonna happen when she releases her new book, but I'm in love with how this looks right now, and I couldn't be happier. I do have the hardcover of House of Flame and Shadow. I probably won't get the paperback, but who knows? We'll see. ACOTAR really is what got me into reading all of this, everything that you see. This is what started it all in 2023. All right, coming down here, I have my fantasy, and I'll probably split this up as I read more books on my physical TBR. So this is adult fantasy and then have YA over there, but this is just a mix of adult and YA. This is my YA. This is my adult. I have the Crimson Moth duology. I have Powerless. I do have Fearless that I need to read, even though I gave Powerless like 2 stars. I still want to read Fearless just to know how the story ends. But Fearless is chunky. And then I have The Cruel Prince, One for My Enemy. I loved this one. The Serpent and Wings of Night. I do need to get to the rest of those, hopefully soon. And then I have the Emily Wilde series. I'm waiting to get the 3rd one for when it comes out in these Barnes & Noble editions because I'm obsessed. I'm obsessed with the way these editions look. I love them. I just think they are stunning and I want a matching set. And then I have Bride, which I'm excited for Mate to come out. I really enjoyed Bride. I'm not sure how I feel about Mate, but still excited. And then I have Phantasma by Kaylee Smith. I need to read Enchantra. I'm excited for that one too. All right, on the very bottom here, I have my kind of taller fantasy books, my hardcovers. I have The Invisible Life of Addie LaRue, Divine Rivals, Ruthless Vows, Fourth Wing, Iron Flame, Onyx Storm. I do like having these ones pointed pointed out. I love the dragons on Onyx Storm. It's so pretty. I have the Alice 6 by Olivia Blake, Assistant and Apprentice to the Villain, and then an Ember in the Ashes series, which I loved all of these books. So happy to have them displayed here on my shelf. Down here lives my Harry Potter series and then Lord of the Rings. And I might put the Hunger Games here and display my Lord of the Rings somewhere else because I like how over here it's extremely popular fantasy series and it fits really nicely. I like the way this looks right now. Thor is sleeping right here. Hi bestie. Hi bestie. You're so cute. So coming back over here is the newest addition to my bookshelf, and that is these cubes. I got 4 more from Target, as you saw, and I'm very happy I did this. I think it looks good. It took a little bit to get used to, but I think it balances out really nicely with how I had the shelves lined on top, and I now have more space for my books. Right here I have my hardback Emily Henry Shrine, and I'll probably put my Say You'll Remember Me here too, and then I'll put Great Big Beautiful Life here too. I love displaying these books. I love Emily Henry so much. I think it would be cool to have it like this eventually once I get more books here, but it looks like that for now, and I'm very happy. And then I just have this rock bookend, which I have quite a few of. I've had that literally since I was like 10 years old, so love that. Use what you have. And then down here is my nonfiction books that I have, and I just have them rainbow coordinated because I think it's fun. And then on this next shelf, I have some romances that I've really enjoyed, some romance authors that I really enjoy, and I'm really happy to have their books, but they just didn't fit on my big bookshelf. I have Cara Bastone, Hannah Bowden Young, Carly Fortune, B.K. Borson, and Hannah Grace, and then another little rock there. Like, how do I show you guys these? Hey. Here I put my Magnolia Parks and Chloe Walsh Boys of Tommen series. I did have them up on my shelves, but one day there was like a loud bang and my perfume bottles fell from up there, and I'm like, maybe I shouldn't have heavy books on that floating shelf, so I moved them down here. This did hold my library books, and I might just end up putting them behind there, or right now my library books are just on my chair. So we'll see what happens there. And then here I just have some physical TBR, nonfiction, and fantasy, and then some popular sci-fi books. I feel so funny on the just like laying on my stomach. The top shelf here, I have more romances and another rock. So I have a ton of room on my romance shelf over here to expand, and definitely will for my physical TBR because pretty much the whole bottom of this is physical TBR. And then down here I have my YA fantasy TBR and then some adult fantasy TBR that I am excited to get to this year. Moving along, I love these 4 shelves. I think they're so fun because of my Spider-Man and Grogu. But again, bottom is just physical TBR. This is fiction physical TBR. There's a poetry book in there, and then this is romance, and then I just put a little life on the end. I know that is not romance, but it didn't fit here, and I had space there, so why not? So romance TBR, fiction TBR. These are fiction books that I've read, and then the thriller up there. It's like the only thriller I own besides. And then here I decided to put the books I've read so far this month, the physical books I've read. Oh, that is the wrong book. But anyways, and then on this last shelf, I decided to put the books I've read this month so far to kind of keep like a visual book. And then I have read 2 books on my Kindle. So it's 6 books total, but I have only had 4 of them, which is fine. And then I have my Grogu at this bookend, and then he'll just get squished as I read more books or be shamed to the back. Finally, I just have a little stack of books here. I have Fearless, Conditions of Will, and The Creative Act. These are just books I really want to get to sooner rather than later. Yeah, I did have Wild and Wrangled up there, but it was getting kind of squished by my vase of flowers, so I put it down here, but that would be up there if it was a sturdier book. But I really like this look, and then I can kind of change them out with books I want to read, or if I do TBRs in the future, my TBR could be here. All right, so that concludes my updated library tour, my reorganization of my bookshelves video. I want to say thank you so much for being here and watching my videos. I read a lot of books, and before I started posting on YouTube, I was consuming so many stories, and I wanted to be able to share what I was reading, but I just didn't know how, or I was worried what people would think. But I'm just so happy you guys are here and you've watched my videos. Even if you watched like a second or a minute of my videos, or if you've even just clicked on one and clicked out of it, I'm thankful for you. But yeah, that's all I have for you. I will hopefully see you very soon in another video. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you for being here. I hope you have a beautiful rest of your day, your night, your week, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.